Remember the old days of editing documents? Go back 20, 30 years and think about WordStar or WordPerfect or what have you, where a document was your own. You're the only person who ever worked on it. You typed it, you printed it out, and you mailed it to other people. Those times are obviously long gone, and so today more and more of the world is collaborating in the creation and editing of documents. So whether you're in the corporate environment or whether you're a student, or doesn't really matter who you are, you could be an artist, chances are you have other people collaborating on editing your document. And so what you eventually end up with is something that looks substantially like this. I know we've all seen this before, where you have various users. Each one has made certain contributions to the document. Some people, in this case, we have one attorney who has been reviewing and making changes to other people's edits. At the end of the day, though, I'm ending up with a very colorful document, and it is up to me or up to any other user in the chain to discern what those changes were, what edits people made to my document, why they made those edits, in what cases did one person's edits have to do with another person's previous edits. Like, for example, in this mess right here in the middle, we can sort of assume that a few users, possibly Brandon and Sydney, I'm guessing, were kind of arguing over a certain item, like a comp rate. And so they were going back and forth, and my document is displaying all their edits as different colors with bubbles coming up, bubbling up on top, and kind of showing what the specifics of each edit, what the specifics are. This is very confusing. I know it's confusing because people have told us it's confusing, and you can kind of draw your own conclusion by just looking at this. Obviously, modern tools like Microsoft Word or various Google Docs, or in cloud computing, you've got documents that are stored in the cloud, and they capture revisions as well. Adobe products, Apple products, they all allow users to review other users' changes in a collaborative environment, but generally speaking, it's still pretty confusing. You can kind of see what users made changes, you can see the order of the changes, but it's very hard to make sense of it, primarily because the time element is missing. Even though you have timestamps here out of order, it's very hard for a human being to look at this and try to mentally visualize what really happened to this document. Well, how did this document evolve as it was hopping from one user change to another? So this is where our patented technology comes in. What we present the user with is a specialized toolbar, right? And this could actually take any form. We chose to make it look like a player here, like a media player. This could take any form at all. It's a tool that could be external to the application. In this case, Microsoft Word. It could be internal. It could be web-based. Doesn't really matter. The point is that what the first thing we do is, without changing the way in which the core application works, in other words, we're not telling Word how to capture revisions better. What we're doing is we're reading the revisions and we're mapping out the series of changes made by various users. We then allow the user, the reviewer, in this case me and my audience, to click on the name of any reviewer in the chain and have the document morph into the new state past the changes made by that user. For example, watch carefully here. When I click on lawyer, the $58 per hour melts away. I'm going back in time, back to when we had brackets here saying specify rate. Then Sydney took over the document, and Sydney has added, she erased specify rate, and she added the $58 per hour. The next revision, if I clicked on lawyer, I didn't actually notice what the lawyer has done here. Let me go back to Sydney and look for changes. Back to lawyer. There it is. So the lawyer has actually changed the word pay to reimburse as part of the way in which this lawyer edited the agreement. Let's see how the document evolved between the lawyer edits and the end of the document, which is all the colorful things that you guys saw initially. If I clicked on lawyer to Sydney, notice how the document starts morphing almost like watching an animation, and the document morphs to its final state where Sydney has changed the price to $4,200 per month. Prior to it, it was $5,400 a month, and it was $5,400 a month because Brandon had made it $5,400 a month, and prior to Brandon, it wasn't $5,400 a month, it was $58 an hour. So what you're able to see here, if I am, let's say for example, an executive in a company, and I just received this document, without having to think too much, I can replay the history of the document beginning to end and actually see the various stages of the document morphing into each other. I can then realize what these people were thinking, why they made the changes they made in response to other users' changes, and overall, it's just a much easier way to review a document in a collaborative environment than to simply use the old style, the antiquated way, which I showed you before, which is currently standard, which is simply coloring a document and not giving it any time element. If you want to get some validation for this technology, we can go to YouTube and watch a Google video. And I apologize for the low quality. That's the way it kind of looks on YouTube, or actually looks in this recording. You can always go to the URL you see above and watch the Google video on your own. Obviously, they've had 9 million people watch their movie, which is pretty significant. And so what Google's describing here is technology which is extremely similar. In fact, the patent office had actually told us that it's technology which they reviewed in granting us our patent, concluding that our patent took precedence. So if I replayed the Google video here, notice what they're saying and try to read what they're showing.
So we added a feature called playback. So I get to see Lars' original message. Lars asks Stephanie, Stephanie replies, Stephanie does an inline reply, and so on and so on. So playback turns out to be a really useful feature, particularly when a wave starts picking up more structure.
So Google gets applause, but I don't. The point we're trying to make here is that some of you may have actually noticed that Google Wave is no longer a product. I think it was taken officially off the air by Google. However, Google has really pioneered a new way of collaboration, and they're going to take another crack at it, and we're betting that this will become the way of the future, and we like our patent and our technology to be there first. So once again, just to recap, the difference between the advantage of our technology over regular document editing is that we're able to add a time element, and we're able to allow you to take any existing technology, and once again, technology from Google, technology from Microsoft, from Apple, from Adobe, and I'm sure I'm forgetting a few, anything that's collaborative and any platform that can capture user changes, we can then play back those changes within the context of time. Thank you.